Yo, a little bit of update real quick. I've been working on trying to modularize these NPCs. I haven't used any inheritance really. I think I have Unreal. So, hold on one sec. Okay, we're good. The I had to go into my enemy class. Here's the enemy. Oh, I think I probably showed you he has strafe pattern now too. Yeah, I did a couple things. One of them is I updated it to have a behavior tree. It now uses the environmental query system to generate some points around the character. And right now it's always the same distance, but that's okay because the attacks are always attacking from the same distance, and they should because they all have the same range. But if there was one where it was a short range attack, I would want to adjust the EQS system so that if I'm here and here's this set of points that the NPC wants to strafe around, he would want to get close to me if he's going to do a close range attack, but I haven't done that yet. So I'm about done with this NPC. This is not a final thing or anything. This is just a test NPC to see what the logic would look like. Excuse me. So I want to make a better mesh, some better animations, some root motion maybe, so that he jumps in and covers distance with the animation. So right now he goes up to the player, goes to determines where he needs to get to, and then attacks from there. So he does a little adjustment. A lot of things on YouTube you'll see they do a big adjustment. They go around, but in real life you're not making those massive movements strafing around somebody. Because that was like a foot. That was a couple feet of strafing. That's a big strafe. That's a small strafe. That's reasonable. Normally it's little steps. That's what you see when you're watching people box. That's what you see in MMA. It's what you see in swords, Kima, any of that shit. Small little strafes to he's trying to get a little, see an opening, get another look on me, try and get his attacks going a different way. So it's just a basic little NPC system. I added spine pitch. So now if I attack, I can aim where I want my attacks to go. So I can actually hit the attacks. Like I can hit him in the leg. I can use this parry and aim it at his legs instead of it being stuck in the sky like that, which I wanted to do. Main thing here is this though. I've never used inheritance in Unreal. I think it makes sense. It's just like C++ inheritance. So I'm just gonna, my idea is I want to have a blueprint, a behavior tree set up so that there's this main framework that enemies use, this main behavior system, which for now is just this. It's not super crazy. Follow the target if he sees you and he's not in range. Once he is in range, find where we're gonna strafe to, move to that strafed place, and then attack. And then in the event we get parried, abort all of this and wait for the parry animation to finish. That way we're waiting and we're standing still while the animation is playing, and we're not doing any of this other shit. We're not still moving, parried, we're stunned basically. I don't want to have 17 different behavior trees because apparently you can't make children behavior trees, and I don't want to fucking go in here and copy a bunch of behavior trees because that sounds like shit. So I'll probably have to do that for some that are totally different behavior if I have any. But I'd like to have a behavior tree that the tasks in here call logic in the respective NPC, and depending on how I implement it in the children, we override the default behavior so that I get unique behavior but using one tree. So maybe one guy, when he moves to the strafe place, he does like a little offset, or maybe he changes his angle, or he does something else. Maybe he backs up after, or something else. There's like, I could add in possible little optional tasks in here that for the default NPC do nothing. It's the same behavior. He follows you, he's in position, gets a position to go to, goes there, and then attacks, moves, attacks, etc. But somebody else, those tasks wouldn't do nothing, and they would instead make him do other shit. I don't know, something like that. The goal would be to have one behavior tree that all the NPCs use, but they handle the logic differently. And there aren't performance deficits from sharing it between NPCs. Trying to make this stuff modular so that I'm not redoing stuff. That was the main issue I found in my previous game. The only game I've ever shipped, Wizards and Warlocks, on Steam. And one of the issues was that in my main character class, I had massive comment, all these different attacks, and everything was, there's an event, spawn, whatever the spell actor is, maybe apply some damage, we do this, and then repeats over and over and over again with all this extra logic. I just had a main function that's called, and there's some optional extra logic that, depending on what the spell is, maybe does this, maybe does this, maybe it does heal, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it spawns a projectile, maybe it doesn't, maybe it's hit scan and there's no projectile, no particles or anything. But it goes through this one quick little path every single time, same shit, without me having to copy and paste the same logic over and over again. So something like that, something that's overridable, so that I can have a main monster class, and then I can have other monsters that have, like in Minecraft. I mean, it seems like it's probably about the same behavior for any enemy, right? It's like, enemy walks towards you. Once he's in range, he attacks. Done. That's it. That's all there is. So the Minecraft zombie sees you, runs towards you, has its own little pathfinding stuff, but like in here, the pathfinding isn't in here. It's literally just fucking move to the guy, or move to the guy. That's it. Move to him. And in Minecraft, the distance would be point blank. Once the zombie touches you or gets like within a block, it can attack you, applies damage, right? But a skeleton gets close enough, it also calls its own attack logic in Minecraft, right? But then its attack does something different because it is a child class of zombie, but it looks a bit different. We override the range variable so that when the behavior tree goes and says, hey, are we in range yet? It says, yes, we are, even though it's further away and it's a different value than a zombie, because skeletons stop short. They stop early. Zombie goes all the way towards you and then stops here and attacks. Skeleton, same thing, goes all the way, but stops here because the variable is different integer value. It's 10 meters instead of 1. Stops there and then attacks. Same shit. It's just that we would go in, override that one attack function. So, how do I do that with this guy? I want to have different animations, different parries, because maybe this guy has a different weapon, he's got a different body and whatnot, and him parrying something should look different. Like maybe if there's a giant guy and he gets parried, he doesn't flinch as much and go back as much. Slams his club down, he gets stunned a little, but there's not much time because he's fucking big. Maybe your strength stat adjusts how long he's in that animation state. Play it at a different speed. The stronger you are, the slower you play it, something like that. But how do I make this stuff modular so that I can have child classes that do the same behavior, but they implement it a different way each time without me having to change anything except those little tiny differences? That's it. Well, easy peasy now. I made it at first, and then I figured a better way of making it more modular, and it's easy. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm just going to call this one Swordsman NPC. I'm in another folder real quick. And so my attacks, I updated how the attacks work in NPCs. Previously, it was a literal, I think it was it a select node? Hold on. Oh, no, it was an enum. Previously, the current attack that we had was an enum. There were like 5 possible values. Enum. No attack, / left, right, down, and then square. Something like that, where you attack over your head and rotate it like this. Those are the 4 attacks and then a dummy value, an empty value. Right? So we used that to select one of 5 possible. What do you even call it? Is it even, I guess it's select like based on enum. Select, and we passed in enum. Pretend it's this. Here's our attack, and then there were 5 possible values here. And depending on what attack we currently have, the correct animation is given. So here I just selected, for none, it was no animation. For cut down, it was the cut down animation, etc. Whatever. Problem is, if I literally put this node in here, and then I make this child blueprint, this other guy, how do I change the logic that's right here specifically in that select node? Well, can't, because there's no variable that's holding all those attacks. It's a literal that's created. There's no way for me to override it. I would have to override this entire function by going in and finding NPC attack and copying all this logic and then changing literals, changing which animation is going to be used in that select node, changing these values. So I'll put in, yeah. I went in here and I changed this to be this animation. I changed this to be this animation. All this different shit. And that's trash. That means I have to do, if I added another class, I got to go in here, I got to override the function, I got to go in here, I got to paste this, I got to make sure that these variables are good because well, no, that's it. I paste the shit, and then I go in and then I change this whole thing. Then I have to do other shit too. I also have another set that looked just like this, the same logic, for another literal, and I use the same enum to select the parried animation so that the attack down, if it gets parried, he gets parried and it looks like this. Something like that. If he slashes left, the weapon goes back to the right, the opposite way that it's swinging, just like it would if I was throwing a punch and then it got parried straight on, it would come back towards me the opposite way. That means I would need to do what I just did twice. But then there's a third thing. I have an interface that lets me return whether the current attack we have, so using that attack enum, it's currently an integer now, but previously it was an enum, and I brought it out here and then switch on enum, and there are a bunch of these different values, all the attack values. I put in my attack, boom, and then we would return whether it was a critical. So this one would be, this one's a critical, and then this one's not a critical, and it just looked like shit. I mean, it's fine for here, but if I added another class, well, if I added another class and I was still using that enum, what happens when I'm not using the same attacks? I'm using totally different attacks, and I'm using 17 attacks on this other guy. Well, an enum just has its own set of values. A Boolean is basically an enum data type that has two values, 0 and 1. False, true. That's all. Enum is the same shit. It's some data type that has a limited number of values that are predetermined. Well, this new guy is not going to have slash down, left, right, switch. He's going to have ground slam, 4 different left attacks, another slam, a jump back and swings his sword up, catch you while he's retreating, etc. I'm going to have to create another whole data type for that set of attacks. But then the interface that I use to return what attack we currently have, or no, sorry, the interface I use for the blueprint task to say, here's a random attack, call it, or use it. This, here, I'll show you. Makes more sense if I show. This task says, hey, get a random integer, and previously it was, actually, what even is this? I need this. I'll delete. What are these? Actually, don't know. Oh, these are inherited. I don't actually know what these are. Probably delete this in a sec. But get a random value from 0, really 1, because 0 for that enum was no attack. From 0 up to the maximum value of the enum, minus 1, so that we don't go past maximum value, which would go back to 0, because C++ stuff. You go past the index, you go back, and there's wraparound where you go back to the first, at least for any enum, I think. Damn, it's too hot, bro. So instead of that, well, if I was doing that, this was using that enum. if I'm using the same attack task for all my 17 different types of enemies, or say 5, they're using the same behavior tree, they're all calling the same attack task. Which enum do I use here? These are different data types. I would need 5 different variables. I'd need to say, hey, is this guy a swordsman? Okay, use the swordsman attack enum. Oh, or is this guy, instead, is he a this? Oh, okay, use this enum. Oh, is he? Oh, he's not? Okay, is he a that? And then use all these separate enum. Yeah, this would just be a hell. Instead, fuck it, I'm just going to use vague ass integers. That way I can have a child class that has 17 attacks. I could have the parent class having 4 attacks like it does. I could have another child class having 1 attack, no attack, whatever. Easy peasy. I don't have to, I can just use integers for the whole thing. I don't know what this is for. I don't know where this got created. Just a fat fingered or something. I don't know what this is for either. This must have been created by default. Oh, you know, they probably were. I bet when you create a task and you choose to create it from print base, creates it with this default. Yeah, it does. So I must have misclicked and accidentally added in that integer one, but the description was inherited, which is why it can't be deleted. Yeah, that's why. Yep, see? Can't be deleted because it's inherited. So now we use an integer. Cool. So now we can pass the random integer we get to whichever NPC is doing the attack. Cool. And it has its own set of attacks. No more enum. Now it uses integers. But I don't have an enum, so how do I know how many, like what's the range of attacks? How do I know how many attacks my guy has? Oh, I just added an interface. We just say, it's just a function. It says, hey, whichever class this object is, how many attacks do you have? Let's go 1 less than that max value. That way we don't go past the array because we're indexing an array later. If the array is of size 5, indices are 0 to 4. I don't want to index it at 5 because that's past end of the range. C++, that's undefined behavior. You might crash your program. You don't know what's happening because you're accessing a piece of memory that is outside of your array, and nobody fucking knows what's going to happen. So undefined behavior, not trying to crash this shit. So we ask, and then we say 1 less than that. We start at 1 because 0 is just going to be no attack. That way I can have a state that the character's in. If his current attack is 0, then he's not attacking. Just in case I ever want to use that. I'm not right now, but just in case. Cool. So the attacking part is good. This will work for any of my Cs. But then, what do I do for the rest? Well, instead of it being these literals, this crap, I made a map. A map where each integer corresponds to an animation. Previously, this was just one animation montage. That was it. So we'd say, okay, attack 1. All right, which value? Attack 1. Oh, that's the cut down attack. Cool. Play that attack. Once it finishes, set attack back to 0. Just in case if something else needs to look at the character and ask, hey buddy, are you attacking? Or what attack are you doing? He can answer. Just in case. It's not really needed, but. So my throat is itching. So that was working. But then I had to do the same thing for the parries. I had to add another map called Parry map, another set of montages, and I had to add in all these different values that are annoying because if you click plus, it adds the 0 key by default. So you have to change the default key to not be 0. And then when you add, it adds the 0. But then you got to change that one to not be 0 to add another map. So you have to add one, make this one 1, add another, but then make that one 2, add another, make that one 3. Now I have 1, 2, 3. It's just fucking annoying. It's stupid, honestly. So I have 2 maps now. Previously I had 2 literals, so now I have 2 maps, which is cool. Now I could go into this guy, and all I have to do is go into those variables, the attack map, and then the parry map, just pretend it's here, update the values here, boom. Now I don't have to go in and override that entire event function that I was talking about before. Cool, but I still have to override this crit status. I gotta go in here, I gotta copy the freaking switch statement that I used to have that would say enum comes in, and then we say which the enum comes in, we evaluate the value. Depending on the value, we say, oh, that one's a crit, that one's not, that one's a crit, etc. So we say cut down, all right, switch statement, cut down, false, return false, it's not a crit. Oh, current attack is the switch. Oh, switch, that's a crit. But then that means I still have to override one function, but I can override these two variables and then I'm good to go. Okay. That got kind of annoying because when I wanted to create another NPC as a child, I had to go in here and update the number of these if the numbers didn't match up. So this guy only has 3 attacks. So I had to delete one, delete another, go in here and update this one to be this attack, this attack, this attack. But then I had to go in, go to the other Parry map, remove 2. So now we have 3 attacks. Go or 1 really, because 4, I had 3. And then go in this parried animation, this parried animation, this parried animation, and make sure that the numbers lined up, that I wasn't being a retard and I made mistakes. And then I had to go in here, copy and paste the crit stuff, and then do that. Fucking annoying. What the heck is that? That's terrible. I had to override 2 variables and then copy and paste a function and then add pins to the switch statement, switch on int, because we're using int. And I had to add an extra, or I had to remove a pin. I had to right click and remove a pin so that we only had 3 attacks and then return the, whether it was a crit or not. So annoying. Can I do even better? Oh, I can. I don't actually need to do that anymore. I could just use the map. I can update, or actually this, instead of having a map of integer to animation, what about a struct? A struct that combines the animation and the crit status. That way, in the NPC, I can say map, integer, key, struct, the attack montage, and the crit status. And then in the crit status, all I have to do, use the integer, find the key that matches the integer in the map, and return whether that attack is a critical. Boom. Now, all I have to do is change the map in the child blueprint, child class, and then the logic is the same. It doesn't matter if there are 17 or 3 attacks. By updating the variable, the map, I've updated this to work and return the right value because it's stored here now, not in this switch on int that I have to manually update. Instead, it's held here. Cool. Now I only have to update the attack map and the parry map. Then I had to update a fucking attack map and a parry map. I had to update 2 maps. I had to go in here and click here, and then click here, and then crit, click this, and then go to the other map. Go in here, click this. Which parried montage matches this attack? And then type that one in. And then make sure that I didn't accidentally get the numbers wrong. So this one was, the down attack was 1, but then I went to the other one. Shit, I accidentally put the up parry in 2. Now I gotta move, no. What about we update the struct again, call it NPC attack struct, and include the parried animation montage too. That way, an NPC has an attack montage, whether it's a critical or not, and its corresponding montage. Now I can update one variable. The crit status returns by default, and the parried montage playing happens the same way as the attack montage playing. Instead of getting the attack montage to play attacking, we get the parried montage to play when we're parrying. Boom. Now all I have to do is update one variable. That's all. No more interface function update. No more 2 variables to update. No more having to go from one map to the other. Make sure the numbers lined up. Make sure the indices are the same count. 5 elements, 5 elements. This animation matches this one, etc. Nope. It's open this one, make these 2 match. Open this one, make these 2 match. add in other ones, move other ones. Done. That's it. All I have to do is do that. How the fuck do I do that? I just created this swordsman guy. Literally just right clicked, create a child blueprint. Boom. Now I have a class that inherits all the base functionality. I want to change him. What do? Okay. I want him gonna be big. He's gonna be taller. Can I update his location? Yes. Wait, nope. That's the it's not. Don't know how. Well, actually, did that matter? I guess it didn't matter. Maybe it didn't matter. Whatever. So he's bigger now. I'm gonna make him way bigger. Well, I'm not gonna be able to parry him if I make him much bigger. He's bigger now. I'm gonna change him. So now he's black. Or I guess he's Indian now. Indian man. And so all I have to do is update this attack map. And expand these all if I want. Cool. Let's say, you know, fuck it, I'm just gonna start from scratch, whatever. Okay, he has a blank one. Just so we have something, but I have to change this to 1 to add a new key so that that one's 0. But I kind of want this one to be, I want it to be in order like this. And he's only going to be able to do this wedge. That's all. It's his only attack. Excuse me. And he's always going to do the crit parry. So, his wedge, all he's going to do, really, parry, attack like that. Boom. Baits it like he's defending something. And the attack comes. And when you parry him, he's going to go like this for a while because it's a critical. Boom. That's all I had to update. That's all. And yet, now he's big. He's brown. I'm going to make him go here so he's tall enough. Now he sees. And he's not going to be able to hit me because... Oh my god! That's actually... Oh, it is a lot lower than I... That's cool. Oh wait, what the fuck? What the... Oh, interesting. The rotation... Rotation to face task shouldn't be doing that because if I make a smaller guy, he's probably going to rotate backwards then. He's rotating downwards, so what I probably need to do is update his task. To rotate the face player, rotate the target. Needs to not rotate on this axis. I'm guessing that's Z axis, X or Y axis. X axis, I think. So he's rotating on the Y axis, which he should only be rotating. If we're saying pitch roll yaw, not roll, not yaw, he's rotating on pitch, and that's not what we want because if he rotates backwards, his feet come off the ground, which doesn't make sense. It's more like this. Ground him, he should not be rotating like this or like this because then his feet come off the ground, which doesn't make sense. He's not going to float. I mean, he's Indian, maybe do something. That'd be cool, but there's no magic carpet in this game. So, but regardless, now he uses that one attack. Let's see if I can even parry this thing. Oh, fuck, it was close. Oh, come on. Yes. Boom. That's the only attack he has. Gotta look higher. Boom. Boom. And that's it. Same shit. He strafes, but he uses different attacks and whatever I can. It's as easy as it's going here. Fuck it. I'm going to say this is. See, it's so annoying. I have to go 1, 2. Or we could do 3, 2. And then I could add in 1, make this 1, add in 1 that's 0. And then make this be 5. And make this be 4. Oh, this is just trash. 1, 2, 3, and then add 0. But I want top one to be 0. See, this is just a terrible design. This is so bad. So we'll do 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, wait, no, actually, whatever. This needs to be. Oh, but now we can do 0. 1, 2, 3. Cool. All right. He's got 5 attacks. What are they all going to be? It's going to be whatever. It's going to be this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Parries aren't even going to be parries. They're going to be fucking attacks and shit. Parry him, but then he attacks you. Doesn't even make any sense. They're all going to be criticals, though. but the attacks are attacking. Then we can parry those kind of, but it's not an attack, it's a parried attack. So it's going to be really weird behavior. And I can fuck all that up and do all that just by changing one variable, and now the NPC behaves completely different. Not in the tree, but in the actual implementation of the attack, just like we'd say that a skeleton behaves completely different from a zombie. Yeah, see the actually the attack. Shit. What is he doing? I was getting stuck on him. What is he doing? He's bugging out. See, they're getting stuck on each other. I guess because they both decided to get on the close point. So they were trying to move to get to where they... Yeah, see? That's why. They're trying to get to be... They're trying to move where they wanted to. See, they just switched places. He wanted to be here, he wanted to be here. And they're hesitating and moving, and sliding against each other until they finally go, then they can attack. Because only then are they... Have they moved to the player. They haven't failed because they're getting closer. The task isn't failing, but it's waiting for that to finish. And then they attack. So that's it. It's as easy as that now. I can update one variable, create another child. I'll make another child of this guy. Fuck it. Boom. He's going to be the mini guy, the Indian mini man. And he's going to be... He's going to be full on white. Casper. Same shit. He's going to have one attack. The one attack is cut up, which is... What even is that? Cut up? I don't even know what attack I have that's cut up. I don't actually even know that one. And fuck it, it'll be a critical. That's it. Separate guy, he's smaller. How about we put him in the level? Boom. There's a little guy. Oh, it is that. Okay. And now we've got 3 separate guys. Oh. It's hard to parry because you can only parry whenever the attack is inside this collision box that's right in front of the player. It's like right here. That way it's actually threatening. I've already talked about that in previous videos. I might make an update where you can always parry, even if the guy is just starting his attack, but it won't initiate a counterattack on your part. But that also just might be frustrating because you're like, hey, I parried him. Why isn't my guy countering? Oh, it's because I wasn't threatened. It doesn't really make sense. So I'm for it, but I'm also against it. So, but yeah, I could just make a bunch of different classes real quick. These guys feel kind of different. This guy feels super fast, but it's just because he's tiny. So they all run, they do their own shit. Oh, what the fuck? Little man. Only get a crit. Go. Little man. Little man. He's stuck. Where does he want to be? These guys are pushing him around. I think he wants to be over there. He's too close. Oh, I have to be closer to him to parry him. Only thing here is that if they're smaller or bigger, that changes how big... Oh, true. Because it's snapping. The sword snaps to the hand, so the bigger the guy, the bigger the sword. Because we can see that the sword on this guy is bigger than this guy's whole body. So, technically, the behavior does need a dynamic where it gets the ideal distance from the player. And instead of, like right now, what happens is it spawns points around the player. And it's always at like 200 centimeters away, 2 meters away, this distance. But instead, it should say, it should go into the specific child and then say, hey, what's your desired attack distance right now for this current attack? We'll just pretend there is no current attack distance. It's just always. This guy always attacks at 100 centimeters. This guy always attacks at 3 meters because his sword's longer and he can reach. And this guy always attacks at 2 meters, something like that. So the behavior tree says, hey, EQS system, spawn the points around the player that you want to get to position yourself correctly. So you go here or here or here, depending on how tall you are. And then that value is used. So same behavior tree, it's just passing a variable that it gets from the player. And then all I have to do is update that in here. So it's two things to update. Update the attacks and update how far the guy wants to be. And even then, I could add that to be in the struct too. Desired attack distance. You probably want that to be in an attack. If I'm attacking with this big thing and I'm like reaching really far out, I can attack from farther away than something where he's like hitting you with the pommel, hitting you close. Can't stick his arms out that far. Pommel's here. Meanwhile, all I have to do is this, and the blade reaches much further out. So I should probably add this too. So it gets the guy, gets the current attack, and then so the attack should actually be decided first. Then the attack is decided first, and then we get the distance based on the attack and child character or the blueprint. So that the small guy is closer, the big guy is farther, etc. And it matches the attack. It's all one behavior tree, but a bunch of different results. That way you end up with, like in Dark and Darker, where you have a skeleton, he walks up to you, and he does his attack. What's his attack? It's random. It's either a slash, or it's a slash and then another slash if he's a higher difficulty, something like that. Well, what's the other guy? What's the stinky zombie? He comes up to you, he gets slash, or he'll shoot out this stink, whatever the hell. Same logic. Get close enough. Stink zombie. We go into stink zombie. Get your desired attack distance or get your attack. Oh, your attack is, we do a random attack. It's either slash or it's stink. It's stink this time. Just like for this guy, we get a random attack. And then, it was slash down, but it could have been slash up and left and right. Fucking backwards as a switch or something. Different behavior, but same logic. And then, yeah, whatever. I mean, that's it. And then do the stink. But the stink is handled in here. Granted, at that point, it wouldn't be just playing an animation, doing this other stuff. So, but then it's easy. All I have to do is update this one class to do this one new unique behavior whenever we attack. So there we just, so there instead we would just say, hey, NPC attack, this guy does this type of attack instead. And that's it. But I don't need these guys anymore. Oh, surprised it doesn't actually say. Oh, it is. Okay. I was saying he's not being used anywhere. But... Yo? Oh, crash. Awesome. Great game engine. It's good. I like it. But that's it. Wait, what? Oh, it is crashed, but not really. So, crashed, but not closed. But that's it. So I probably need to update that. What was my last commit? Modularizing, parry map, struct, that. Corresponding parry montage 2. Just update the one attack map. Boom. So, what did I do here? Okay. Alright, well, fuck it. I'll close that. Was the other one bugged? Okay. Let me make sure this one was fully good. Yeah, I committed 40 minutes ago and then I started recording, so these are all changes that I can discard. And I can go back in, figure out what next I want to do. I want to make maybe attack distances, but first comes first is a new NPC, new model, new rig, new whatever, and new attacks with him. Or maybe it doesn't have to be a new model. It's just a guy with different attacks, different poses. So yeah, that probably makes sense. Same model, and so I don't have to re-rig anything. I just do more animations and give him a different animation blueprint so that his base. Oh, I guess that would be the thing too. So for I wonder if you can make a child animation blueprint, and then you just go in and swap out this guy we use these animations for this state machine instead of those ones. If not, fuck it. We have a new behavior or a new animation blueprint. But in a child blueprint class, you can go in and just swap the behavior. So all I would have to do total, change a lot of shit, update the attack variable, attack map. That changes the animations, the attack animation, parried animation, the attack distance, whether it's a crit, all in one thing. Easy peasy. Then update the attack distance, or what that has attack distance too. One thing. And then update the size of the guy, maybe give him a different weapon or something. And then update the animation montage. That way he has different animations that he plays by default. So, curious real quick. Can you create a child animation blueprint? Oh. It uses a different compatible skill. What happens if I do this? Just say it's the same one. But then what happens? Do I like this? What about where's the anim graph, yo? Yo, can I see it? Graph override? Shit. Oh, do you just go in here and swap out? So this uses this blend space, but I could oh shit, so this is good. Everything else happens just like normal. I just change which blend space I'm using. So instead of moving, in this case he's gonna be fucking parrying, which doesn't make any sense. And then I don't have any default animations here. I just have blend spaces. If I didn't, this is just a regular animation, then this could probably maybe let me swap this to be a different animation. And boom. Okay, cool. So I can also do that. So I don't have to create the NPC from scratch. That would be a copy and paste. So sick. Cool. Discard that change. I didn't even save anything, so no changes to discard. G. Just trying to flesh this shit out so that I can make one fun combat experience. Parrying feels great. The counterattacking feels great. Stunning, all that shit feels great. Looks good. The animations seem fluid. Boom. A lot more polished than my previous game. Then I can worry about making more combat experiences, more different enemies, different behaviors, etc. All this other shit. I want to first create that one main thing. Just make it. That's what I want the game to be. Like Schedule 1. It could just be making and selling weed. That's it. Game would be amazing. I would still play it. So it's just that one thing. Get a text from the guy. Say how much counter offer him, or say you want to meet, or whatever. Can't actually say that, but whatever. You go meet him, do the deal. That's it. It felt good. Oh, and there's the growth. That mechanic, making the product, getting a request, meeting the guy, selling it, sound, the addiction feeling. It's great. That's what I want. So make a good parry combat feeling so that and enemies that feel kind of real or feel more like, oh shit, these are good enemies. These are fun to fight against. That's what I want. They're fun to fight. Like every enemy in Expedition 33 was fun to fight. That's the make. That way, this carries over to my next VR probably. Because I don't want to make a first person combat system on mouse and keyboard because I don't think you can. Like, my ideal one is in real life. I'm prying the fucking ice bolt out of my chest, sticking it in the guy because my weapon disarmed or whatever. It's got careless or something like that. I want to be able to, it's tangible. I want to be able to actually do it in real life. So I don't want to have to create some sort of like stance system in the game and all this other shit. I mean, it would be fun, but it's not what I. The enemies, I don't control the enemies, so me working on the enemy behavior is going to translate 100% straight into VR. Good enemies here, good enemies in VR. There's other shit where you can interact with them, grab them, whatever. Sure, that's extra. Most of this translates. Could just disable the grabbing, and then it would still be good. So that's it. All right, peace.